Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the OU Football Preview Show. I'm Rick Heath. With me, Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law Firm. Noble, thanks for letting us come in this week.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You know, now, OU had a good game against Tulane. Kind of started out a little sluggish, but for the most part, they did what everybody expected, which is win in a handy fashion.
You know, they did, and I don't think it really surprised a lot of the folks that know about the option that it took a quarter for OU's defense to get going. It's really hard to replicate that in practice with players who don't see it every day. To my understanding, they actually called Barry Switzer before the game to get some ideas on how to defend it, because as everybody knows, he was the big option guy. But once we got it figured out, what 14-7, and the next thing you know, it's 117-7. I mean, at 14. I mean, from there on out, we blew them out. But it took a little bit to get going. But once we got it figured out, we did really, really well.
Well, there was a little bit of a big game hangover from that win at Ohio State, which a monumental win.
Oh, what a huge win!
history.
I was there with my buddies, and I will tell you that before the game, we were surrounded by Ohio State fans, and they were just chirping at you, saying, "Welcome to the Horseshoe. Remember what happened last year." And, you know, all we could say at that point was, you know, we just hope it's a good game and we want to be competitive.
Which is what we wanted, you know.
Absolutely. Well, when the fourth quarter comes and they start emptying the stadiums, and, you know, all of a sudden then they didn't want to hear that we liked being in Buckeye country. So
thank you for welcoming us into
absolutely.
the Horseshoe.
So it was a fantastic experience, a fantastic game. Couldn't have had a better time.
Well, you know, and a friend of mine, you know, that was there said that when they started emptying out, he got to go down the 50-yard line right behind the OU bench and just started rooting them on because they were all gone.
They were gone. You could walk down and get absolutely 50-yard line seats that on StubHub would have cost you $3,000. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, they were empty. They were leaving. I could not believe that a fan base like that, 110,000 people, that stadium was just empty because they're down by a touchdown or two in the fourth quarter. I mean, how many touchdowns were we down against Tennessee on the road a couple years ago?
Yeah.
If you'd have left that game, you'd have missed it. How many touchdowns were the New England Patriots behind in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl? If you'd have left it, you'd have missed it. They shouldn't have left because they're not true fans.
But they were the kind of fans that don't want to see their team beat,
right,
especially on their home field. And, hey, we'll talk about more about defeats coming against the OU opponents when we come back here on the OU Football Preview Show.
Are you ready for some football? Football season has started at O'Connell's, and we've got all the games. For almost 50 years, O'Connell's in Norman has been your college game day headquarters, and now will be your official NFL watch party location. With our large screen TVs everywhere, you'll never miss a second of the action. Catch all the games with our great wings, burgers, homemade onion rings, and your favorite frosty brew. O'Connell's on Campus Corner is your total watch party headquarters. O'Connell's in Norman, it's where the action begins.
When you live in Oklahoma, the place to get your mattresses is at the Mattress Place. You see, Paul, the owner, is from Oklahoma, and he is sick and tired of seeing fellow Oklahomans pay outrageous prices on mattresses. The Mattress Place has queen, pillow top, mattress, and box springs for only $2.99, and king pillow top mattresses for $4.39. Twin sets for $125. The Mattress Place carries Simmons, Beauty Rest, Orthopedic, American Bedding, Primo International, Corsicana, and much, much more. The Mattress Place sells furniture too. Coaster, Ashley, Signature, living room, bedroom, dining room, office. The Mattress Place has special financing available. Regular financing and zero credit financing. Pay $10 down, take it home, and pay it off in 100 days. Mattress Place on 59th Street between Western and Penn.
Hi, it's Sam at Louie's Grill and Bar, where we are famous for delicious burgers like our new Deep South Burger, featuring sliced ham, smoky barbecue sauce, and fried green tomatoes. At Louie's, we're in your neighborhood.
And welcome back, OU Football Preview Show. Rick Heath, Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law Firm. Now, Noble, you guys have been helping the McIntyre Law Firm and yourself have been helping Oklahomans for many years.
Well, we have. You know, I've been an attorney now coming up in September. Next week, I'll be a lawyer for 24 years. And my entire career has been representing folks who have been catastrophically injured or family members of folks who unfortunately were killed in an accident. And it's a tough deal because I get people at the lowest of their low and we're trying to help them get back on their feet or try to put the pieces of their family back together. But it's something I take very seriously. I feel like we do a really, really good job here at McIntyre Law. In really caring and being responsive. You know, the number one complaint against attorneys, not only in Oklahoma but around the country, is the inability to get your attorney on the phone or talk with them after you've hired them. You can always talk to somebody before you've hired them. Yes, come on in, we'll be happy to meet with you. But getting them on the phone again afterwards is difficult. And here at McIntyre Law, that's just not the case. You get the attorney's cell number, you get to talk to the attorney anytime you want. You're not hiring my legal assistant, you're hiring me. And so that's what we've done really well over the years, is helping folks and being accessible to them. So as they have questions throughout the process, they can reach their lawyer.
Well, and that's very important. And that makes them feel reassured, especially in the kind of circumstances that you helping families
Right.
at their lowest point. So I'm sure they appreciate it, and it'll be good to continue that help through the next 24 years.
Absolutely.
You bet. Now, OU goes to Baylor.
They do.
The last two times they've gone, two out of the last three times they've gone to Baylor, they've gotten beat handily. Of course, that was the Art Briles Baylor.
Right.
It's no longer the Art Briles. Matt Rule's in there. He's changed everything. He's lost a lot of players. Baylor is now, doggone, after 0-3, they're not very good.
No, they're back to what Baylor was when the Big 12 started, when they could never win a game. And to have seen Baylor rise up like they did and become the team that they became, to see them back to where they were before, I'm sure for true Baylor fans it's pretty distressing, because they're probably going to be at the bottom of the Big 12 for many, many years as they try to recover from everything that happened internally within their program that caused them to lose so many athletes. It's just not going to be a very competitive game. I don't think that Baylor's going to give anybody a very competitive game this year. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, they're 0-3. I mean,
They
they've
are.
gotten beat by Liberty.
Right.
One of the biggest upsets. Liberty is just 4 years into football.
Well, it'd be like Jinx playing my hometown of Burns Flat in western Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, it should just be a blowout, but that's not what happened. Liberty beat them, and so Baylor's just not a very good program right now. I think it's going to take a number of years. I'm just hoping we go down, we don't get any injuries that would affect us the rest of the season. We get some of these younger guys some more opportunity to play, and then move on to the next week.
Well, and Baker Mayfield, what you want is to get him in there against Tulane.
Right.
Baker started out fairly slow, but he ended up 330-something yards,
4
four
touchdowns.
touchdowns. So that's what we're coming to expect out of Baker Mayfield. I saw a clip this morning about Baker Mayfield when Trevor Knight was still there, and Baker Mayfield with seconds left throws the ball in the end zone. Dimitri Flowers touchdown, they win the game. That's when Baylor was number 4 in the country. So I don't expect that, but I expect Baker Mayfield to go down, he and his offense to do well.
Well, we got to continue to get better, and we're already very, very good. And the other thing you have to do, you have to weigh against keeping him in the game too long for risk of injury versus the fact that he isn't a Heisman Trophy race. And as much as you hate to say it as a pure football fan that statistics matter in a game like this, at the end of the year when they're looking at the Heisman Trophy race, statistics matter.
Yes.
And so you've got to get him in there to get his throws and to get his touchdown passes and then get him out before he gets hurt. And boy, do we have a good second-string quarterback.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about Lincoln Riley we've talked about before on this show is that Lincoln Riley doesn't mind playing backups.
Right.
Bob kind of was hesitant about that. Lincoln Riley does not mind playing backups, and so when he gets a comfortable lead, he starts putting them in,
Right.
and I like that. And that's why Kyler Murray is starting to be able to show out what skills he has, as what we saw last week. That beautiful 84-yard
Right.
pass to Marquise Brown, who happened to be named the newcomer of the week for Big 12. He had 6 catches, 154 yards, and a touchdown. That's kind of a nice hello, Marquise Brown, because he hadn't played up to that point.
Right. And the more you get these younger guys playing time, it helps you down the road if you get an injury. And you're right, that was a lot of times Bob didn't do that, and I think Lincoln's doing it, and I think it will help the OU program if we get an unfortunate injury later in the year.
And speaking to newcomers, hello, C.D. Lamb. First half, he's get 2 touchdown catches. He's got 100-something yards. Unfortunately, he had the McIntyre Law Review official review
Right.
way too many times on that block, and he got set out for the second half. But what a great game he had.
Oh, imagine what his statistics would have been if he'd have played the whole game. I mean, he set the record for a freshman in a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
And so he had a fantastic game. He's going to be another great, great receiver for us.
And unfortunately on that targeting ruling, as we said earlier, the McIntyre Law sponsors the official review.
Right.
They're in the stadium, and you got a lot of pub for the wrong reason.
Oh, it was up for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, from my standpoint, an advertiser, that was fantastic. But the result, that was not.
That's not what you want to have him ejected and out. But that's one of the things that you come and go with, but he did a great job, and CeeDee
did.
Lamb is going to be a name that we live with for a while as OU. Hey, let me tell you about another name that you will love to hear, and that's the Garage Burgers and Beer. That's right, the Garage Burgers and Beer. 8 locations now around the metro area. The hamburgers are the best, and you can get them beef, bison, turkey, whatever. Plus, they've got tacos and fish tacos with mango salsa. Great food there. The Garage Burgers and Beer. And always remember, $2 Coors Lights on tap all day long at the Garage Burgers and Beer. We'll be right back after this. Gray Segment brought to you by XR Tickets and Entertainment. XR Tickets has the best in OU season football tickets or single game tickets. If you're looking for OU football tickets, give them a call at 600-911, or you can go to xrtickets.com. And not only do they have OU great tickets for OU, but they also have pro football tickets, Dallas Cowboys, any of the other pro football teams that you might want, they can get those. And concerts, all the local concerts, they have the best tickets. And any concert in the nation that you like, they can get the tickets. So if you're looking to be entertained by great football or concerts, call XR Tickets at 600-911. Or they also have a limo service that will take you back and forth. And as a matter of fact, they are our partner. We're going to be giving away 4 tickets and a limo ride back to the game and back for the West Virginia game. We'll talk more about that next week on how to enter that. That's xrtickets.com or XR Tickets. Give them a call at 600-9111.
Are you ready for some football? Football season has started at O'Connell's, and we've got all the games. For almost 50 years, O'Connell's in Norman has been your college game day headquarters, and now will be your official NFL watch party location. With our large screen TVs everywhere, you'll never miss a second of the action. Catch all the games with our great wings, burgers, homemade onion rings, and your favorite frosty brew. O'Connell's on Campus Corner is your total watch party headquarters. O'Connell's in Norman, it's where the action begins.
I'm attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. Over the past 20 years, we have fought for Oklahomans who have been injured by medical malpractice and medical device injuries. These injuries are caused by products including defective hip implants, transvaginal mesh implants, Zofran, Xarelto, Invokana, and IBC filters. Unfortunately, these type of injuries happen every day, and it's good to have a local expert to turn to for help.
On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
When you live in Oklahoma, the place to get your mattresses is at the Mattress Place. You see, Paul, the owner, is from Oklahoma, and he is sick and tired of seeing fellow Oklahomans pay outrageous prices on mattresses. The Mattress Place has queen, pillow top, mattress, and box springs for only $2.99, and king pillow top mattresses for $4.39. Twin sets for $1.25. The Mattress Place carries Simmons, Beauty Rest, Orthopedic, American Bedding, Primo International, Corsicana, and much, much more. The Mattress Place sells furniture too. Coaster, Ashley, Signature, living room, bedroom, dining room, office. The Mattress Place has special financing available. Regular financing and zero credit financing. Pay $10 down, take it home, and pay it off in 100 days. Mattress Place on 59th Street between Western and Penn. And welcome back, OU Football Preview Show. Rick Heath, Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law Firm on Southwestern. Now, Noble, you guys are noted for doing charitable works also.
You know, we are, and that really was something instilled in me when I was young, growing up in western Oklahoma. The pastor I had, Lloyd Hall, who's still alive, he's 90 years old, I think he still preaches, was a big, what is given to you, you're expected to give back. And so I have carried that into not only my personal life, but my professional life, and have led by example here at my firm and have my whole staff behind us now. But we have a number of things that we do each year. Our primary event, and we've talked about it before, is the annual turkey giveaway that we do the Thursday before Thanksgiving. I think last year was our 8th year. We started off with just my location 8 years ago. Last year we had 5 locations. We gave away 7,500 turkeys statewide. We fed 25,000 people on location, burgers and drinks and soft drinks. The premier events here at my office on the Thursday before Thanksgiving, but we do it in Norman, we do it in Tulsa, we do it in Mustang, we do it in El Reno. And it's just a way to give back to the community, to maybe some folks that aren't like you and I, that have the ability to go out on their own and get everything you would need for a good Thanksgiving meal, come here and the trial lawyers of Oklahoma from the Oklahoma Association for Justice will provide that. And I want to make sure I don't take too much credit for it, although I kind of came up with the idea. Over $100,000 was given to that program last year to buy turkeys, and that was from about 140 firms statewide, plaintiff trial lawyer firms here in Oklahoma. So I couldn't do it all on my own. I certainly don't do it all on my own. It's with the help of the Oklahoma trial lawyers, and we do a good job of giving back to the community.
Well, and everybody wants to thank you for that, because there are a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that don't have the ability to provide for themselves. And with you and the fellow trial lawyers, that's a great opportunity for a little bit of give back. But speaking of giving back, OU's defense kind of got back. They were struggling, like you said earlier in the program, getting used to that option. The first time they touch the ball, go down and score 7, Tulane does. And everybody in the crowd's going, oh, wait a minute. I mean, UTEP did the same thing. And I said, don't worry about it. I mean, they'll make adjustments. Well, the second time they touch the ball, I mean, they go up 14-7, and all of a sudden we're going, whoa, Parnell Motley, interception, 84-yard interception, pick six, turned it around.
Turned it around. If I'd intercepted that pass, I'd still be running trying to get to the end zone. That far, I think I'd had to stop and take a break. But yeah, it was an unbelievable play. And once that happened, I think I read Lincoln Riley said in the newspaper, one of his interviews, it kind of got the wheels going and let them play with their ears back a little bit. And from there on out, Tulane couldn't do anything. It was all OU. But it does take a little bit of time with an offense that you've never seen. That's why Air Force does so well over the years, is because they run this option offense that most people don't see, and allows them to go in and compete in big games like they did last week. They played within, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns of who did they? I don't remember who they played last week. One of the top 10 teams. Yeah. It's a tough offense to defend if you don't see it very often.
And especially because they didn't practice against Tulane. I mean, they were focused on Ohio State.
Right.
They did that, then they got back and go, okay, now then let's look at this, And it's hard to replicate, even though you've got a scout team.
Right.
I mean, they don't know how to do the option. They never practiced that. So, I mean, they're just, it's kind of a walkthrough. So once Motley got that interception, the defensive line started playing better. The linebackers started filling the gaps and stopping them there at the line of scrimmage. And the defensive backs were just flying up there, knowing that they weren't going to get hurt on the passes. They were, especially Stephen Parker. I mean, just flying up there and meeting them at the line of scrimmage. So overall, once they got that 157 yards in the first quarter and a half, and they got the interception, OU shut them down to only 134 yards total the rest of the game. Yeah.
The rest of the game. It was really good to see them shut that down and really perform strongly the rest of the game. And, once we were on cruise control, you could sit back and relax and enjoy that game and think about the next games coming up. And, OU's not really going to get a true test, again, I don't think, until Texas.
Yeah, and Texas played pretty well against USC, better than I thought.
What a good game. Texas actually should have won that game.
Yeah, they had a chance.
And had they won that game, it would have been a huge shot in the arm for that program. And, being a Big 12 guy, I'm not a Texas guy. I mean, I don't like Texas at all. But there was part of me that wanted Texas to win that game for the Big 12, so that when OU beats them badly, it would make OU's resume look even stronger.
Well, and I'm being a fan, which I've always made known. I'm a fan. I'm not a journalist or anything like that.
Right.
But I don't like USC.
I don't either.
So it's the lesser two evils, So if I had to pick between Texas and USC, because the Big 12 Association, I'm thinking Texas, because I went in going, I hope Texas gets killed. And then they started playing pretty well, and I went, oh, go Texas.
Yeah, maybe we can win.
Yeah, maybe they can win and make the Big 12 look better. But, going down to Baylor, OU should do well.
Right.
I think, they could – looks like they can name the score. I don't want to, belittle Baylor too much, but, I mean, Liberty scored 40-something points on them. So I don't think there'll be a whole lot of tests. Maybe 49-14, something like that, Maybe even more if they give Kyler Murray.
Right.
He was – against Tulane, he was throwing deep ball 85 yards with 9 minutes to go. So, I mean, they weren't afraid to run the score up.
Well, and they want to get him some practice and some playing time in actual game situations. So that may happen again. I don't think it's going to be competitive at all. I think your score may be even a little light. We'll just go down there and see what happens.
Well, as a Sooner fan, you want them to come out without any major injuries, and then they got a week off, and so there's time to refocus, get Mark Andrews warm. Get him well,
right,
and all of that. So I look for it to be a comfortable win. Come back, take the time, get a rest, get everybody healthy, and start in, with Iowa State the next game at home. Then go down to Dallas and play Texas.
Well, I haven't forgotten that Baylor beat us those last 2 times in the last few seasons. And so another Texas A&M like 77-0 win, like Oklahoma had a few years ago, would be good for me.
Spoken like a true OU fan. Noble McIntyre Law. We'll be back with more on the OU Football Preview Show right after this.
Are you ready for some football? Football season has started at O'Connell's, and we've got all the games. For almost 50 years, O'Connell's in Norman has been your college game day headquarters, and now will be your official NFL watch party location. With our large screen TVs everywhere, you'll never miss a second of the action. Catch all the games with our great wings, burgers, homemade onion rings, and your favorite frosty brew. O'Connell's on Campus Corner is your total watch party headquarters. O'Connell's in Norman, it's where the action begins.
And welcome back, OU Football Preview Show. Joining us now, Dr. Jimmy Conway, our resident orthopedic specialist. Dr. Conway, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Rick.
You know, now, you and the other orthopedic surgeons at OSSO get all kinds of, injuries there that you have to diagnose. But what I want to talk about this week is not so much a surgical injury, but knee strains, knee sprains. I mean, those kind of things happen not only to collegiate athletes.
Correct.
Mark Andrews is coming off something like that now. They held him out second half against Ohio State. They said he could have come back in. Why would you do that? But also, middle school, aging athletes, they suffer these type of what I call strains. But you say there may be something different. Tell us about that.
Well, there's a difference between a sprain and a strain. A strain, ST, is an injury to a ligament or a muscle. A sprain is a strain is an injury to a tendon or muscle. A sprain is an injury to a ligament. Ligaments attach bone to bone. Tendons attach muscle to bone. So there's a little bit of difference there. Typically, when you're talking about like football, you're talking about a sprain, typically of the medial collateral ligament. So we grade those from 1 through 3. 1 is tender but no instability. 3 is this gross kind of instability to test of that ligament. And 2 is kind of somewhere in between, best diagnosed on an MRI scan. The time to recovery is dependent on the grade of the sprain. 1 being, it's tender, it's painful, it might prevent you from running all out or from cutting, but as soon as the tenderness kind of leaves and you're able to run and cut, then you can go back and compete.
So that's the least amount of
That's
problem.
the least amount.
Yeah.
And typically with a grade 1 MCL, you're talking maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Typically you'll brace them to kind of help protect. With a playing type brace, a competitive type brace. And then, the grade 3 sprains are a lot more problematic, and that's a good 6, maybe 8 weeks of recovery for that injury.
We're talking to Dr. Jimmy Conway of OSSO, Oklahoma Sports Science Orthopedic. Now, you guys handle all kinds of these type situations all the time, but now you're talking about sprain now and strain. Can those be handled with just rehab? I mean, is that the best way to handle those?
It depends on the type of injury.
Right.
Okay, so when you're talking about a sprain, so you're talking about a ligament. So the broad flat ligaments best are treated non-surgically for the most part. The round ligaments tend to not do as well non-surgically, so that would be more like your anterior cruciate ligament tear.
That's the ACL everybody hears about.
That's the ACL everybody hears about. That's a ligament inside the knee joint that prevents your shin bone from shifting forward. And so that doesn't heal very well. Now the PCL, which is the posterior cruciate ligament, which kind of is the opposite of the ACL, that's a more broad ligament and typically does fairly well without surgery. So that's kind of the difference between the two.
Now, if you're a high school athlete or, mom, dad of a high school athlete, and you don't know, what's the best remedy? I mean, come to OSSO and have it checked out?
Well, for that type of injury, you probably ought to be checked out either by an orthopedic surgeon or somebody that specializes in sports medicine, maybe that doesn't do surgery, but a non-surgical sports medicine specialist.
Somebody that can give you the expertise and say, and they can test you right there pretty much, the give or take and find out whether it's something that needs to move on to OSSO.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
and those are the kind of things, for like aging athletes like myself, you don't sometimes want to admit it, but you do need that consultation. How will they get a hold of you?
Well, they can call me at 692-3749, which is my main office number. OSSO is 427-6776 for our main number.
Okay, and then you also have a website.
Yes, my website is jimmyconwaymd.com.
So if they have questions, jimmyconwaymd.com,
That's
give you a
correct.
call, 692
3749.
3749 and get the information. I mean, you don't want to send a young person out there without knowing something in good expertise, and Dr. Jimmy Conway can give that. Dr. Conway, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And welcome back. I want to thank Dr. Jimmy Conway with his expertise here on the OU Football Preview Show. And that is jimmyconwaymd.com. If you have any questions about orthopedic needs or any of the injuries you may have, you can go to jimmyconwaymd.com and he'll email back about what his recommendations are. It's Dr. Jimmy Conway from OSSO. Also want to thank some other sponsors here of the OU Football Preview Show, the Trails Golf Club. Do not let go of fall golf. Fall golf is some of the best golf going, and there's no better place to play than at the Trails Golf Club in Norman. A championship course, beautiful surroundings, and a great clubhouse, and a family-friendly atmosphere at the Trails Golf Club in Norman. XR Entertainment and Tickets. You looking for the best in tickets? OU Texas tickets, single game tickets, the rest of the tickets there for OU, or concert tickets, or maybe even you're a pro football Dallas Cowboy fan, Denver Broncos, whatever. They have tickets for everything at xrtickets.com. You can go to xrtickets.com or give them a call at 600-9111. That's 600-9111 for XR Tickets. And don't forget, they have limo service. So if you've got a bachelor party, a bridesmaid party, wedding party, whatever, family entertainment, or you just got a bunch of friends and you want to go out on the town in style, call XR Entertainment, 600-911, and get a limo to take you to and from your fun place. Also, Sooner CrossFit. Help advance your fitness goals at Sooner CrossFit and Sooner Strength. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate or even a serious CrossFitter, Sooner CrossFit is where you can go to get in the best shape of your life. That's SoonerCrossFit.com. And Casino Domino, for 30 years, the finest Mexican food in Oklahoma City. It's on Southwestern, 59th and Southwestern. Great, great food. They've got banquet facilities and the best Mexican food in town at Casino Domino at 59th and Southwestern. And the Garage Burgers and Beer. 8 locations in the metro area. Find one near you. The Garage, great burgers, the best burgers in town. And you can get them beef, bison, or turkey. And they've got wonderful fish tacos like the Baja fish tacos with mango salsa. Plus they've got salads and other things to eat at Garage Burgers and Beer. And remember, it's always $2 Coors Light on tap for every day at Garage Burgers and Beer. 8 locations, find the nearest one to you. That'll do it for this week's show. We'll see you next time on the OU Football Preview Show.